Shalom, Shalom, and welcome. Welcome to Endtime Reflections. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled to present before an awakening set-apart nation. This is the 79th installment of Endtime Reflections, and I want to bring your attention to the title, Words versus Actions, Priorities Emerge. If you are one who seeks to do the will of the Almighty Father, especially during times of uncertainty, it is time to awaken and begin to listen and seek out the voice of the Spirit of Yahuah as He works in us, through us, one towards another. The time is now. In the sea of all the noise and words and languages that we hear, it is time for us to identify the actions that can be described only as set-apart actions led by the Spirit of the Almighty Father. In Yahusha's name, I come to you in this installment and present why it is important for us to discover the dynamics regarding words versus actions, to understand how priorities emerge in the midst of all uncertainty. As end times ramp up, there are those receiving messages from the Spirit of Yahuah, and there are individuals who claim to be hearing from Abba Yahuah's Spirit, but are not. Yes, we are to test the Spirit and try the Spirit. This is why fellowship is important. This is why assembling together is important. This is why being amongst wise counsel is important. I present to you why it is important to know how to discern who is really hearing from Abba Yahuah's Spirit, sent in Yahusha's name. To ignore Yahusha is to ignore that Abba Yahuah manifests Himself, His flesh, His word, in the person of Yahuah, Yahusha. For they are one. There is no Trinity. Language is often misunderstood, with many who are awakening thinking they must pursue the Hebrew language, as promoted erroneously by many mores and teachers. The scriptures emphasize the importance of names, but we were not ordered to go find the pure lip. It states that in due season, Yahuah will restore us to that pure lip. But many mores, teachers, pastors, some community heads, bishops, and deacons have decided to push modern Hebrew, which is actually Aramaic, as our pure lip. This is incorrect and wrong. We will discover, my brothers and sisters, when the time comes, what a pure language is. And many people fail to realize that within the definition of language is also gestures and pictures and symbols. We will discover, my brothers and sisters, that those who claim to be more set apart because they know the modern Hebrew, some will even try to tell you it's Paleo or ancient Hebrew. Ask them to speak fluently in such language and ask them what are the origins of the language that they speak. You see, when we don't ask questions, we fall into the category of just taking in what we believe to be true. Just because we are new in awakening doesn't mean we should be gullible to follow these erroneous statements. My brothers and sisters, end times are here. The 144,000, as mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter, and the great multitude will come together. Many languages, kindreds, and tongues will come together as one. Those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father, those who are drawn by Him to fulfill His words. Yes, my brothers and sisters, words versus actions. You might say, well, who's to say you're true, Symmanayah? Soon and very soon, O Yashar'al, we will see chosen leaders execute judgment in a way that would be just as severe as Musha when Dathan and Abiram questioned the leadership of Yahuah, the Almighty Father, and they face a terrible end. We will see, O Yashar'al, the time come where all this noise, out of all the noise, we will see the rebellious removed out of the way of those who must fulfill what is ordered of them during these end times. Visit No.79 chapter, and you'll come to know what I'm talking about those who rebel against the leadership. As end times ramp up, and within this noise, there's much attention to language, dress even, understanding Shabbat, when a day begins and ends, discovering the meaning of a new moon, the 7 major feast times, what are their purposes, polygyny and more. All of these create uncertainty, fuel uncertainty, and in some cases contribute to confusion when there is no leader discerning the voice of the Spirit of the Most High and explaining what these words mean, why and how we are to govern ourselves as it relates to these things. Priorities emerge, my brothers and sisters. The time will come where forced movement and forced migration will come. In the midst of this pandemic, in the midst of civil unrest, in the midst of the uncertainty, we will learn to establish priorities. Why? Because it is important that we do not fall in the category of those who are led away, led astray, or those who we find falling away. Consider 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 through 7. For it reads, let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first in the man of lawlessness. The man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called the Almighty One and that is worshipped, so that he sits in the Almighty One, in the dwelling place of the Almighty One, showing himself that he is the Almighty One. Do you not remember that I told you this while I was still with you? And now you know what restrains for him to be revealed in his time. For the secret of lawlessness is already at work. Only until he who now restrains come out of the midst. Whether you realize it or not, O Yashar'al, the 144,000 in great multitude, we are those who restrain the fullness of the anti-Mashiach, the anti-Messiah or anti-Christ from coming to his full work. It is us, and therefore the final exodus is approaching. I've stated before, most recently, that I am now compelled to believe that the final exodus will conclude. Or should I say, we will see much evidence of it in the 8th month of our year, in the year that is known as 2023, commonly known as December. I believe the tribulation has begun. I believe it began December 21st, 2020. I will put a series describing why I believe it began then. I will also include in this series why I am compelled to believe that the final exodus will be very evident and will come to be in that 8th month. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, it is hard to believe that we are the generation that's in the midst of end-time prophecy fulfillment. But whether we believe it or not, choose wisely the path, the steps, this journey, my brothers and sisters. For those that are chosen will be pulled, drawn, disciplined, judged and refined, made anew, and rise up in the strength of set apartness. Are you amongst those who will fulfill these ranks? Or will you be among the falling away? Matthew 24:4-5 said, Yahusha answered, said to them, take heed that no one leads you astray, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and they shall lead many astray. Yashar'al, there will be gatherings. There will be a final exodus. Movement will soon begin. Most recently, as I stated, I believe the countdown to the final exodus is the year 2023. I further believe what is known as the Great Tribulation, as I stated, has begun. I want you to know, normally I don't mention dates, but I am compelled and convinced to speak these words. Watch, O Yashar'al, for beyond words will come actions, actions followed by power and might, things that are necessary to render the judgment, the correction, the refinement of a set-apart people, things that will prove that vengeance and wrath that is promised by the Almighty Father have begun. I want you to know this, my brothers and sisters. There are details and processes that must come to be in preparation to fulfill the movement that is required. I have no doubt that we must and will get into position. For some, they will witness the fulfillment of the following. In Amos 8th chapter, verse 11 and 12, it says, "See, days are coming, declares Master Yahuah, that I shall send a hunger in the land, not a hunger for bread, nor a thirst for water, but for the hearing of the words of Yahuah. And they shall wander from sea to sea and from north to east, and they shall diligently search, seeking the word of Yahuah, but they shall not find it." Some will witness this, O Yashar'al, the undiscerning, the unlearned, babes even, the rebellious, and many others. Do you not know that this requires a repositioning? If we are the living examples of Yahuwah's word working in us and through us, and people are wandering sea to sea searching for his words, is it possible it could be describing that the final Exodus, when it takes place, the set-apart ones will be gathered, and people will be hard-pressed trying to find and discover what the Almighty Father has to say during these end times? Amos chapter 9, verse 8 through 10 says, "Look, the eyes of Master Yahuah are on the sinful reign. I shall destroy it from the face of the earth, except I do not completely destroy the house of Yaakov, declares Yahuah. For look, I am commanding, and I shall sift the house of Yashar'al among all nations as one sifts with a sieve. Yet not a grain falls to the ground. All the sinners of my people are going to die by the sword, those who are saying evil does not overtake us nor meet us. Make no mistake, O Yashar'al, where we are positioned will prove to make a difference as to our conditions during the times of the falling away and those being led astray. The coming foretold destruction will displace all who are physically alive. To the set apart and obedient, we will return to the promised land, and some will be in places where they will be the last words people will hear as the last messages that the Almighty Father has to say to those who face destruction and widespread death. Yashar'al, O set-apart family, we have begun to be challenged when it comes to choosing who to be with in fellowship, how to govern ourselves or to be governed, or how we are to govern others as guided and used by the hand of the Almighty Father. In the midst of all the noise, proof is about to come in a way that is phenomenal and extraordinary. There's no doubt in my mind that in the midst of uncertainty, as it grows rampant, we who are the children called to fulfill specific tasks will rise up. We will demonstrate priorities. They will emerge. Words versus actions. There will be words and actions that marry one another. And there will be words proven to be as a tingling symbol, as just noise, just that, distractions and confusion. I believe wholeheartedly refuge will be sought. People will seek clear directions as end times ramp up. I believe promised discipline, vengeance, and wrath has begun and will continue to intensify. There's no going back to the way the world was yesterday, last year, or prior years. Here, O set-apart family, Yashar'al, we will be trained. We will learn how to set priorities. We will demonstrate and witness the fruit of our decisions emerge in the midst of all the words and actions witnessed. There will be set-apart words, set-apart actions. Actions speak louder than words. Let us learn how to vet, examine, and discern and identify the words and actions from the Almighty Father. How to set priorities. You see, my brothers and sisters, the time will come when families even will be split. Are you not aware of Yahusha saying he come to bring a sword, division, that some enemies will be in your household, our household? Let us be mindful, O Yashar'al. Discernment will bring about the keys to freedom from strongholds of the enemy. Our emotions, our mental state will be challenged. But we will witness the severe hand of Abba Yahuah make us right. Those who must fulfill the things that are promised. the end times that are spoken of in the scriptures. The time is now to learn, my brothers and sisters, to ask questions, to discuss, to identify, to embrace all that is set apart. The time is now to come away from all the noise and chatter. I ask this question of you, O Yashar'al. Are you satisfied with your pastor, your community head, your moray, your teacher, your deacon, your spiritual advisor? Are they imparting on you the things that will make you strong in the midst of their absence? For you see, soon and very soon, as the judgment of the Almighty Father ramps up, we will see what some will call the true colors of those among us. We will see as words and actions are weighed one towards the other, that priorities will be set and demonstrated, and many of us might be shocked or surprised, for many of these mores, teachers, and pastors will be brought to an end. Some will be cleansed by the blood of the Lamb and rise up strong in the set-apart spirit of Yahusha. But there will be many who will fight to preserve their egos, to fight, to hold on to their positions and titles. But know this, O Yashar'al, deliverance come. There are foolish questions, sometimes unfruitful and rhetorical questions. When someone asks you a question, but they already have the answer, and that answer is incorrect. But not all rhetorical questions are unfruitful. Be advised, it would be wise to learn through our communications how to determine the difference between one seeking answers and or one who produces combative questions with no intentions to yield to truth. My brothers and sisters, many of us have probably heard that actions speak louder than words. But what are we going to do when we see these actions? Have we been equipped with the knowledge, the discipline, the words, the understanding of how to respond in the midst of the actions that we see going before us during these end times? Actions do speak louder than words. But make no mistake, there will be living words, living warnings, living orders coming from the Almighty Father. Words that match up with the actions, and priorities will emerge. We will learn how to make decisions and press forward. Look around now, my brothers and sisters. If we search diligently, we would not be hard-pressed to identify some brothers and sisters who are facing the most challenging times in life, without power or fresh water, without guidance, without connections, due to lack of power. Cell phone towers down. When they come up, ask some brothers and sisters. Ask some brothers and sisters now who cannot reach others and one another. How do they feel? You see, my brothers and sisters, even as I speak, conditions are proven to be uninhabitable across the face of the earth. We who are in the United States are just beginning to experience what displacement is like when others in other parts of the world have faced it for many generations. Yashar'al, Yashar'al, it is time to understand the importance of coming together, gathering together, and the final Exodus will prove the benefits of being gathered together, being amongst the 144,000 in great multitude mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter. The time is now to witness who will be gathered. Who are the chosen leaders? Who are the children of obedience that they will become to be known as they fulfill end-time tasks, as we begin to march in the direction that the Almighty Father will have us. We cannot stop nor prevent the coming falling away. We cannot block those who will be led astray. Let us pray for them and learn how to press forward. Priorities will emerge, O Yashar'al, knowing how to choose one thing over the other, when, with whom, and with what resources, if any, For there will be those who have resources and those who will know to press forward, knowing that the Almighty Yahuah will provide all that is necessary to fulfill his promises. The conveniences that we know now are eroding, O Yashar'al, as uncertainty ramp up, as civil unrest, as wars and rumors of wars, as living conditions change. We will understand how to set priorities. We will identify that the wealth that is to be given to us, the core wealth, is fresh water and food and safety in the bosom of Abba Yahuah. Priorities will come. Make no mistake, O Yashar'al. Persecution is ramping up. But the bold and anointed will rise up. They will soon execute a power that the world has not seen, but have read of in scriptures. There will be sinkholes. There will be earthquakes. There will be meteor showers. There will be tsunamis. There will be storms. There will be much destruction and widespread death. At the mouth of those ordered by the Almighty Father, they will present his words that will be centered around discipline, vengeance, and wrath. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, behold, the hand of the Almighty Yahuah is being magnified as I speak. Come and witness, learn to discern and obey what is ordered of you, what is ordered of me, a set-apart rising nation, Yashar'al. My prayers are with you, my brothers, my sisters, my family. We are entering into the most challenging of times that man have ever witnessed. And one might say, no, Ecclesiastes says there's nothing new under the sun. Don't misinterpret the scripture, my brothers and sisters. I'm speaking of the magnitude. The population of this planet have never, ever been at this amount. There are some things that have never occurred before with such magnitude. And keep in mind, there aren't multiple end times. There will not be multiple judgment days. End times are just that, the wrapping up of man as we know it, the coming conclusion of being in these earthen vessels. Judgment day comes, but before we go before the throne on judgment day, there is much to occur between now and then. And you, my brothers and sisters, these words found your ears for a reason. What say you? Have you identified the stirring spirit within? Are you prepared to respond? Ready or not, watch the disciplined hand of the Almighty Father bring deliverance and freedom from strongholds. Watch the Spirit of the Almighty Father in Yahusha's name bring his children together. Stay tuned, my brothers and sisters. There's much more to come. Words versus actions. Actions do speak louder than words. Priorities will emerge. And some will be pleasant, some not so much. Come, O Yashar'al. Let us identify the chosen, the drawn of Abba Yahuah, the Almighty Father, who is the beginning and the end. And let us begin to come together. Until next time, O Yashar'al, let us keep our eyes open and our ears open to hear, and our spirits open to discern the voice of the Spirit of Yahuah. Let us not try to be silos, for this will be unprofitable. Time, end times specifically, will prove the coming together of Yashar'al will be in a way in which we probably have never imagined it to be. Soon and very soon. Stay tuned, O Yashar'al. On that note, I salute your patience, your tolerance, your pursuit of set-apartness, your love for the Almighty Father Yahuah in the name of Yahusha. And I say to you, Shalum.